Whalawhlahia tu hane e tau walatala tu tupu ke lata mo leo taong niwe ke hau nei. Koe hau nei ni whahokua e whanuanga he tau lilifu he whano e ke pule he motu ke lata mo liu whakadutala ke he tau pepa tupe he kautu. Koe tuku atu e pepa whakamua koe tau whailoanga, mai tau manat pulanga, mai komisi haka haka, mai whaswhasianga tupe, mai tau tupe whakamole, mai tau tupe moa, mai tau uawhi hongf mawhake he uawhi hongf malima. Ne whakakise ta manatu nā kai whiawhia he whalu e ki pule, hako nā kai whai whakikisianga, ke whalu to whahi ngā hoa ne kua lahi e tau tupe moa, mai whakamole, ke whakatea te ke whahi ngā whakamuloa, koe whahi si whalo mai kwari, mai whale nunu, mai whalu whoki, koe whakamāmaanga ko moa ne ko pehe takitaki ko misi tupe, kua tohe e tau whahinga hua ia i lalo he company Niuean 11th Numismatic Bureau, moi kua whai mata whakatu whono tohi ke whai mga hokehe, ka tuku at e tau hokotaki ia. Kua hai ei whoki, whalu ta manau te whakakisi ngā ia ke te puhala ne kua tau se te whakatu talanga, ke tau se kehe te puhala ko mahani i heo mai hala, kai nā kai whai kehe te lahau he takitaki whono, whakatu mawanga i ni e te puhala ne kua whakatu talaki ai, ke kisikisi ai ke tau matanu mela, matutaki atu hia e whanuanga ki ngāhani tohi atu e walatala nei. Koe a whaiume kua mole atu ne kua whangahoko e tau whiua whainolo ke lātu me tau whiua kirikiki he tau whiwhene he tau mtakau hatuapo mua lofi ne whakahoko ai ki malepele i ha kupu. Wai loa mai ne tā whakamua e matakau ha lofi moa e alu tōru e ala katoa tāko e taha seo tōrung fumalima. Kua oki whakaku e tau whiua tō tuku atu ai ke matakau hatuapa ke tutuli ala ia. I loa tāla mai koe tō tangata tā hong mawhitu whakamua hatuapa kua mamaseo salo tōru ke tau ala mai moa e ua pulu e ala ni kua tā. Hai ei koe tau tangata tā whakahiku halo tōru ne kua tā e tau ala he mdakau, hoko ai ke tā seo mai whae ala, kai nā ke hoko sia ke moa e ala ha lofi. Tala hau mai takitaki hei mdakau hatuapa, nā kai whai mana vihu e whiua halo tōru, kai hai ei whalua tau mini giki, ka koe tu whiua ma whala, koe tu matangi ni ne kua nā kai hangahang mtaki. Pehe mai takitaki ha lofi koe nike misikea kua lahi whiawhia hana mai whakauwe ke he tau tangata seka he hana mtakau ha kua lahi malikisi lunga halo tōla tau malolo. Koe meneia kua liu ni alofi kautu ke he tau whiua kiriki ke tau whiwhene mai tu uai e mtakau hatuapa. You're listening into Radio Sunshine's news bulletin for today. The Niuean Legislative Assembly met today to discuss the budget with some strong views shown regarding the reports and order of discussions. The first order of business was the presentation of the Public Accounts Committee report and recommendations on the budget estimates of expenditure and revenue for the financial year 2014 to 2015. Some members of the Assembly voiced their disappointment that the report presented did not represent or give full disclosure of all government's accounts, with a noticeable omission of accounts from the Broadcasting Corporation of Niue, Civil Inquiry, the Nonu Farm and a few others. However, the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee explained that the corporations or divisions operating under the Niue Philatelic and Numismatic Company would be presented at a later date. The Assembly continued with discussions looking at the budget in more detail to comment on the figures and expenditure for each department and projected estimates for the year ahead. On Saturday, the final women's cricket game between Tuapa and Olofi was held at Hakupu's Village Green. The Olofi women's team was first up to bat, and before the 3 hours was up, Olofi team had a total of 135 runs. After a 30-minute break, it was Tuapa's turn to play catch-up, and according to sources at the game, Tuapa's first 17 batters were bowled out with a total of 20 points. Towards the end, the Tuapa women seemed to step up their game, with their last two batters making the score up to 104 runs. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to beat Alofi. The team leader for Tuapa said that there weren't any disputes on Saturday, only a few minor disagreements. Overall, it was a good game despite the weather. Alofi's team leader Enike Misikea stated that she was very proud of her bowlers as well as the whole team. During the whole game on Saturday, they all seemed to have improved their game. Alofi retained the championship for a second time in a row, and after all the commotion leading up to the women's Kilikiki finals, the season is now over after being dragged out for some time. Now moving on to our news stories from the region. Following the close of the voter registration drive for 2014 general elections, the Fiji Elections Office has announced a deadline of the 20th of August for registered voters who want to correct or change their polling venues. Approximately 70,000 registered voters have already confirmed and made adjustments to their polling venue information. Meanwhile, the newly registered One Fiji Party will launch its manifesto on Wednesday. Party's General Secretary Sitiveni Kalau, while confirming the launch date, said the public can look forward to new ideas. He said the party is also looking to announce its first batch of candidate nominees on Friday. Good governance is being put to action in Tuvalu with the appointment of the first Chief Ombudsman this month. Sa'anga Talu Teafa, Permanent Secretary in the Public Utilities Ministry, has been appointed first Chief Ombudsman for Tuvalu and will take up his post on the 1st of October. The Attorney General's office should also be ready to prosecute offences against the Leadership Code Act as well as breaches of the Penal Code, while the police should efficiently carry out the investigations. Attorney General said that all these bodies should have the right number of staff with the right capacity and the right office accommodation and office equipment in place to be able to efficiently use the code to safeguard leaders' actions. Samoa is calling for citizens around the world to help offset carbon emissions as a result of the largest global meeting to be held in Pacific Islands. The Offset Islands 2014 campaign aims to counter carbon generated from the Third International Conference of Small Islands Developing States in September. During the month-long campaign, climate change and carbon offsetting initiatives that are taking place through the Secretariat of the Pacific Regional Environment Program will also be highlighted. SPREP has been working with the Samoa Ministry of Natural Resources and the environment to help make the Samoa Conference environmentally friendly. Another regional group has called for a resolution to the flight dispute between national airline Fiji Airways and Solomon Islands Airlines. Pacific Islands Private Sector Organisation CEO Mireia Volavola said a number of private sectors in the Solomon Islands had been affected by the suspension of flights to Honiara and Nandi. SPTO CEO Ilisoni Windringeti said the situation had a direct impact on tourism and trade-related industries. Windringeti said the tourism industry was heavily reliant on a well-established air transport sector, and it was unfortunate that the whole situation had escalated. Rio Tinto subsidiary Bougainville Copper has been stripped of all its exploration and mining licenses by the Bougainville government. The company's Baguna mine was once one of the biggest in the world, but it was also the spark that lit a decade-long civil war in the 1990s, in which 20,000 people died. Bougainville's parliament initiated the move when it passed a new mining act on Friday. Landowners and other groups that support mining see it as one means to obtain the economic self-reliance needed to have a real choice in the referendum. Earlier this year, the Australian Papua New Guinea Business Forum was told by Momis that he was not assuming that the Rio Tinto-owned copper mine on Bougainville would reopen or that Rio Tinto or Bougainville Copper would be the operator. Bringing together women groups that specialize in making organic coconut virgin oil for export is a sector that the Pacific Islands Private Sector Organisation hopes to develop. PIPSO CEO Mireia Volavola said the organisation received requests from overseas companies interested in importing coconut virgin oil. The clustering initiative is supported by the European Union's BizClim program and has been piloted in Papua New Guinea, Samoa, Tonga and Vanuatu. Government authorities in Papua New Guinea are in the dark on the whereabouts of Dubai-based Awal Telecommunications Corporation and its A-Town mobile phone company. The company was issued 3 licenses by the PNG government: an individual network gateway services license, an individual application license, and an individual network license, which would enable it to operate a mobile phone service in PNG. Irish-owned Digicel has been the dominant player in the lucrative PNG mobile phone market since the deregulation of the telecommunications industry in 2007. The Cook Islands Democratic Party has withdrawn one of its 8 petitions challenging the July elections result, which gave the Cook Islands Party 13 seats in the 24-member parliament. However, the Democratic Party filed 8 petitions with the High Court, saying bribery and ineligible votes costed the election. A Democratic Party candidate, Noroa Baker, has withdrawn his petition for the Akaroa seat on Rarotonga, saying he cannot guarantee anonymity for his witnesses. Baker's petition alleged undue influence and ineligible votes swung the electorate in favour of the Cook Islands Party member Te Ariki Heather. In a statement, Baker said his claims would have required some electors to appear in open court, and this would have had a negative effect on their families. The hearings are due to start in September. Fiji's 190 military and medical officers have left the country for peacekeeping duties in the Golan Heights. The soldiers were farewelled at the Queen Elizabeth Barracks in Namboa. Fiji Military Commander Brigadier General Mosese Tiguintonga reminded the men and women that even though some have had previous deployments to Sinai and Iraq, this would be their first deployment to Syria, and no one should assume they know what is expected there. Tiguintonga says Syria is a totally different place and a new territory for everyone going on the tour. Therefore, all care and due diligence should be undertaken. Indigenous landowners and leaders in Vanuatu have welcomed the introduction of new laws this year that aim to tackle widespread corruption in the leasing and transfer of land. Spearheaded by State Lands Minister Ralph Regenvanu, the package of reforms, which include land reform amendments and custom land management acts, returns critical powers over decisions about land ownership and leasing to local landowner groups. Extended families and clans claim traditional rights over more than 80% of the country. While optimistic about the new measures, they admitted that they need to see how they work and if they eliminate political cronyism. Formal employment is only 20% in Vanuatu, so if you don't have a job in the city, you fall back to the land. Vanuatu's move on land reform sets a precedent in the region, with the governments of other states such as Papua New Guinea and Solomon Islands advocating that more rather than less state control over indigenously held land is needed to lift economic development. And those are our regional news stories as well as our local news bulletin for today.